Click on the subscribe button to subscribe to our channel. Press the bell icon on the YouTube app and never miss another update.
Good evening everyone. My name is Rajesh. I'll be taking Geography and Environment section and few questions of current affairs. So how was the Geography section? कैसा रहा? Were there any proper geography questions visible in the paper? हाँ? जैसे geography concept based. Okay, this is how even UPSC asked in last year. Okay, we are trying to give in that pattern. Coming to geography, this is the syllabus of geography as given in the notification. The prelims portion of geography. Yeah. Yeah. Before we start, how many of you have come to the test center and written the test here? Okay, almost. Good. That is good. Okay, as even Shivi has explained, coming to the test center and writing here is almost similar to writing in UPSC. Okay, which is entirely different than writing at room. Of course, if you cannot come to the test center, there is no other option. Even then, if you are writing by at home by due to some reasons and all, try to fix to the time. जो timing दिया होता है, try to restrict yourself to that time and try to write in a similar manner to that how you write in UPSC. Okay, जैसे एग्जाम में हॉल में बैठ के लिख रहे हो वैसे in that mindset you have to write, then only it will be more helpful. Fine. Coming to geography, the syllabus for geography is physical, social and economic geography of India and the world. This is a simple statement, but the question types has always been varying. There can be three types of questions in geography. The first one is concept based. The geographical concepts of plate tectonics, volcanism, the earthquake, climate. Okay, those kinds of concept based questions. Second one, location based. Most of the location based questions would be from Indian geography and few questions from world geography, just say the locations which are in news. Okay, region and the location which are in news. Okay, that is location based. And the third one is application based. Particularly Indian geography questions, if you see, they would be more current oriented and some of the application oriented. जैसे fixed concept based ऐसे नहीं होते. Most of the geography questions. This is mostly world geography. This is mostly Indian geography. This is mostly Indian geography. These are three types of questions. But last few years में the concentration is majorly on location types. Okay, and some questions on application types, the geography. But you can never expect UPSC to play in the same way. Okay, if you see 2012, 2013, 2011 papers, there are more questions of concept based. Okay, so be thorough with the concepts. That is very, very important. Then in addition to that, go for location and current affairs. Fine. So there are 10 questions in geography. Let's take one by one. Are you guys facing any difficulty in preparation of geography? Anything if you want to ask in specific? Geography के लिए? Yeah, landform chapters is important, but don't read in depth. जैसे NCERT 11th में दिया है, each and every landform, you don't have to read that in depth. Even for example, GC Leong में दिया है ना? You don't have to read that in depth, but you have to know few things, different types of landforms, and in each landform, what are the different processes active. जैसे take an example, arid landform. Okay, and what are the different processes active over there? Okay, then the different types of landforms forms over there, just the names, which are the erosional types, which are the depositional types. Okay, you should be able to identify the names. They would not ask much more than that. Okay, anything else? Yeah, with respect to vegetation, first always read climate. Okay, in particularly world geography, first always read climate. If you understand the climatic types of the world, if you remember clearly, then you can easily link with the vegetation and even the soil types and also agriculture types. Okay, this is very important to understand only if you can clearly understand which are the different types of climatic. जैसे कि Mediterranean climate में rainfall comes only in the winter. Okay, so that is why vegetation is adapted to grow in such conditions. Okay, vegetation would not be much taller. Okay, deep root system जैसे citrus fruits है, which is adapted over there. Okay, always understand the climatic regions first and try to link it with the vegetation, then the soil also, then the agriculture. Okay. Static portion. Yeah, see that is why always like the static portion of geography जो भी होता है, you have to be thorough. That helps you in solving the questions from current affairs also. जैसे as you are saying, there are three statements. One would be something which is in the news, है ना? जो हमारा first question है. Even if we are saying that it is 2018 is declared as National Year of Millets, है ना? But if you see the other options, the second option, this is static portion. India का है ना? If you know the climatic conditions under which millets are grown, so it is easy to assume, it is easy to come to a conclusion that India should be the largest producer. And a static portion will always help in such kind of elimination. Okay, so keep your static portion strong, that's why. All the static portion, basically whatever you have to read in NCRTs. Okay, NCRTs में जो भी है 11th and 12th NCRT, you have to be thorough. Yeah, drainage is the most important area you have to read in Indian geography. Okay, most important region. So if you can see our 5 years analysis of geography, which is there in the YouTube. Okay, we had conducted an open session. We had covered each section in geography, how many questions have come in the earlier last 5 years. Okay, in that if you see Indian geography, the maximum number of questions have come in drainage pattern. Not only the major river, you have to read the minor rivers also. Their tributaries, उसके अंदर you have to read left bank tributary कौन सा है, right bank tributary कौन सा है. Okay, and the question would come definitely. At least 1 or 2 questions would be there. If you can remember most of the things, definitely you can crack it. It's not that difficult, but you have to remember. Okay, read it through map. Yeah, map based question, let me tell in very simple way. You cannot remember all the locations at a time. Okay, you cannot do that. Many people think that एक महीने पहले कर दूंगा या एक हफ्ते पहले कर दूंगा prelims के पहले, so that I'll remember everything. That will never happen. Okay, try to do it from now onwards. Okay, but don't remember all the map locations which is given in the atlas. The first thing you have to follow is what is given in the NCRTs. Whatever the locations you find in the NCRTs, suppose you are reading resources. Okay, what are the different locations you find over there? Just immediately see it in the map, mark it, and try to revise it. Okay, that is the first thing. Second thing, whatever the locations which you see in the news. Okay, immediately mark it and read it. Okay, you have to read it like that. Do not read it at a time, all the continents together, whole atlas together. Do not do that. Yeah. Yeah, in case of economic geography, you must be talking about the resources and the industry, right? So with respect to the world, it will be helpful if you can remember the names, few examples of each mineral. So that will be good for mains. While writing the answers, you have to give examples, right? So that will be good for mains. But with respect to prelims, the questions would not be very specific in case of minerals and industries, the locations. But you have to know the regions. जैसे कि नॉर्थ अमेरिका में यूएसए द लेक रीजन इज गुड फॉर आयरन ओर. Okay, Pennsylvania is good for coal. जैसे कि the regions you have to remember, not the exact locations for prelims. Okay, but if you remember 1 or 2 examples, so that will be good for your mains. Okay, anything else? So shall we start? Yeah. Question number 4. With reference to the millets, consider the following statements. What are millets? Millets क्या होता है? They're type of cereals, है ना? It is a type of cereals, but a small grain. It is also called a small seed grass. Small seed grass type of plants, which is grown mainly in semi-arid and arid regions of tropical countries. Semi-arid and arid regions of tropical country. Okay, and most of the millets are grown mainly in Asia and Africa only. Asia and Africa, and that too, these two continents together constitute for 97% of the millets in the world. Fine. So what are the different examples for millets? Can somebody tell? Jowar. Jowar is also called as sorghum. Okay. Bajra. Bajra is called as pearl millet. Okay. Then ragi. Ragi is finger millet. Okay. Then there are different varieties. These are the three main which we have. Okay, which is majorly grown. But other than this, there are different varieties. जैसे कि there is also millet called samai. Okay. हाँ, majorly grown in Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh and Tamil Nadu. That is very, very nutritious. And most of the millets are very, very nutritious, very good for health, and very good for particularly diabetes patients. Okay, it helps in controlling of sugar levels and very easy for digestion. Fine, health benefits are huge, but still the production over the period of time has reduced, mainly because of shift in the change of cropping pattern. Okay, we majorly changed the cropping pattern from these millets into the cash crops. Okay, because the profits were more over there. These crops were not supported over the period of time. Fine, but this is called as sunshine area where there is huge potential in the coming days. If you can see, most of the nutritious food products which we see in online, जो organic बोलते हैं, nutritious food बोलते हैं, majorly they are made of millets. Okay, so this is the most important area in the coming days. So that is why even the government has declared 2018 as the National Year of Millets to encourage the production of millets in India. Okay, in 2017 it has suggested to UN to declare it. Okay, from the UN side, but 2018 mein government has declared 2018 is the National Year of Millets. Second one, India is the largest producer of millets in the world. This is also correct. As I said, the conditions are mainly arid and semi-arid conditions. जहाँ पर पानी कम होता है, even the soil is bit dry, red soil, okay, even yellow soil, these kind of soils which is not good for other kind of intensive cultivation. Okay, and the third one, millets are not covered under the MSP regime. No, these three millets which I said, the first three, bajra, jowar and ragi, these are covered under MSP also. Okay, they are covered under MSP. So the third statement is wrong. Any doubts there? Question number 5. Which of the following countries open out to Red Sea? See, this type of question, particularly open out to Red Sea, open out to different sea, this has always been an area where UPSC has concentrated. Okay, every year you can see one such type of question. Mediterranean Sea ke, Red Sea ke, even Black Sea ka, okay? And such type of areas are also limited. You have to identify such type of areas in the atlas. कोई भी ऐसे region है, जैसे you can take an example, Persian Gulf. What are the countries bordering Persian Gulf? Okay, you have to remember. Say Red Sea, Mediterranean Sea, Black Sea, Caspian Sea, Aral Sea. Yeah, Aegean Sea. Okay, majorly these areas are always in news, the first thing. And second thing, they are very peculiar. If you see the map of this Red Sea, you can clearly see that जो यहाँ पर Ethiopia है, it has no access to the coast. Very interesting and very peculiar. Such kind of locations you have to identify in the atlas. Okay, and that is the area of target for UPSC. And if you see this Gulf of Aqaba, this is the location. It has access to both Israel and Jordan. Okay, very peculiar and difficult to identify, but that is the area of concentration. That is where you have to target. Okay, you can easily target such areas, but there are very few areas. Once you remember, you can easily, it is done. Okay, coming to the question, which of these countries open out to Red Sea? Yemen, it's there. Saudi Arabia, Egypt, Ethiopia. Ethiopia is not there. So answer is 1, 2 and 3. Okay? So Egypt, Yemen, Saudi Arabia, then Sudan, which is this country? Eritrea. Then what about Djibouti? Djibouti is there. So Ethiopia has no access, in fact it has no access to sea at all. This side is covered by Eritrea and Djibouti, this side is covered by Somalia. Okay, it has no access to sea. Fine. And here if you can see these two countries, that is Israel and Jordan, has access to Gulf of Aqaba. Okay, Gulf of Aqaba, and this is Gulf of Suez. Fine. And what is this strait? Bab el Mandab. Okay, Bab el Mandab, that is between Red Sea and Gulf of Aden. Fine. And also remember these ports, the question can come here also. These ports are usually in use. The Eilat port is Israel's port in Gulf of Aqaba, and Aqaba is Jordan's port in Gulf of Aqaba. Okay, you have to remember such kind of peculiar locations. That is very, very important. Question number 14. Coast and the location. These are the different coasts of India. Where is Northern Sarkars? कहाँ पर है Northern Sarkar? From here, from Ganga Delta to Krishna Delta. This is Northern Sarkars. Okay, this covers some portion of West Bengal, Odisha and Andhra Pradesh. Fine. So that is Northern Sarkars. Then what about this coast? This is called as Coromandel coast, from Krishna to Kanyakumari. यहाँ तक you can say जो Vaigai river जहाँ पर end होता है ना, so यहाँ तक it is Coromandel coast. What is Coromandel? Why it is called as Coromandel? It is derived from the word Cholamandal, the land of Cholas, Cholamandal. Okay, that is why it is called as Coromandel. This is the region where Cholas ruled. Fine. And what about Malabar coast? See, from Goa to Kanyakumari, that is Cape Comorin. From Goa to Kanyakumari, Cape Comorin is called as Malabar coast. Okay. From Goa to Maharashtra, it is Konkan coast. Okay, Konkan coast. And here it is Kathiawar coast. Fine. Is this clear? So in case of coast, there are two types again. One is emergent coast, another one is submergent coast. Okay, what is emergent coast? Where there is more deposition. Deposition is more than the erosion. Okay, you can find sandbars and more beaches. Okay, so in which side it is more? Eastern side. Okay, you can see many examples, islands which you can see here. This is, which island this is? कौन सा island है? Very famous island. Sriharikota. Okay, Sriharikota is the island which is border between Andhra Pradesh and Tamil Nadu. That is the launching pad for ISRO. Fine. That is also an island. So these islands are the evidences that the coast is emerging. They are more deposition than erosion. Okay. So the entire eastern coast is emergent coast. Okay. Malabar coast is emergent coast again. Can you see there are many sandbars here across the coast of Kerala? Okay, Vembranath Lake is surrounded by sandbars, right? So this coast is again emergent, but this coast is submergent. Okay, where the erosion is more, then there is not much deposition. Fine, this is submergent coast. So let's see the question first. Sahyadri coast is a very informal term used, but it is same as Konkan coast. Okay. Yeah. Northern Sarkar, Ganga Delta to Krishna Delta, correct? Yes. Konkan coast, Krishna Delta to Kaveri, is it correct? No, this is Coromandel coast. Okay, then Malabar, Cape Comorin to Goa, that is Cape Comorin is Kanyakumari. Okay, Kanyakumari to Goa is Malabar coast. Answer is 1 and 3, C. What is the order for this? 1, 2, 3. Okay, photosphere, chromosphere, corona. Let's see, sun is also like the planetary bodies of the solar system. It has different layers. Fine. Before atmosphere, inside the sun, again there are different layers. This one shows the different layers of the sun. See, other than the atmosphere, the inner layers of sun is divided into core, radiative zone and the convective zone. Okay, core is the interior one, the middle one is radiative zone, then the convective zone. Fine, this is where the nuclear fusion happens. Fine, and these are the outer. After that, the atmosphere of sun is divided into again 3 different layers. Okay, the innermost one is photosphere. Okay, just immediately above the convective zone. Convective zone ke upar hai photosphere. Then after that it is chromosphere. Then above that it is corona. Fine, is this clear? So photosphere is the region from where the visible light is coming. Okay, the visible light of sun is coming from the photosphere actually, and that thickness is around 400 kilometers. The thickness of photosphere is 400 kilometers. Then above that is chromosphere. Chromosphere is the region where you can find sunspots. Okay, sunspots are active in chromosphere. Okay, that is much thicker, that is around 400 kilometers to 2100 kilometers. Fine, and above that, after 2100 kilometers, again for one more 2500 kilometers, there is corona. Okay, corona is visible only during total solar eclipse. Okay, otherwise this is not visible, the corona is not visible. Fine. So the answer is, the first one is photosphere, then chromosphere, then corona. Where is Amarkantak region? कहाँ पर है? It is almost the border between MP and Chhattisgarh. Okay, here. This is Amarkantak region. It's also Amarkantak Plateau. The main significance is that this is the region where both Vindhyas and Satpura merge. Okay, the place where these both ranges meet. जैसे कि यहाँ पर we have Western Ghats and Eastern Ghats. Where do they meet? Nilgiris. Okay, in the same way, this is where both Vindhyas and Satpura merge. This is the meeting point. Okay. And another important significance is that it has biosphere reserve. कौन सा biosphere reserve? Achanakmar, Amarkantak. Okay, that is also included under UNESCO map. How many are there in UNESCO? 11. Which is the latest one? Kanchenjunga. Okay, that was in 2008 August. Fine. So this is Amarkantak Plateau, and the region is Amarkantak. Fine. And this region is the source for 3 main rivers. 3 main rivers: Narmada, Son, and Johila. Johila, जो third river था option, that was Johila. Johila river is the tributary of Son. Okay, this is Narmada. You can see Narmada is originating from here. Then this is Son, and one of the tributaries which will join Son. These 3 are originating, all the 3 from Amarkantak Plateau. Okay, and this kind of system is called as radial drainage. What is radial drainage? Suppose if there is a hill, from all the different directions the rivers would emerge and flow. Okay, that is outside, from the center towards the outside. Okay, that is radial system, radial pattern of drainage. So coming back to the question, which of these are there? Narmada, Johila and Son. Okay, what about Tapi? What is the origin of Tapi? Betul Plateau. Okay, Betul Plateau कहाँ पर है? MP. Here, this is Betul Plateau. See, at the origin, this is radial drainage. But after that, this is what kind of drainage? Rift Valley, there is a specific term for that. What kind of drainage it is? It is trellis pattern. What is trellis pattern? Yeah, particularly the main river would flow in one of the Rift Valley and the tributaries would join at right angles. Okay, the main river would be flowing in the Rift Valley, some kind of depression. Okay, and the tributaries would join the river at right angle. This is the best example for both Narmada and Tapi. Yeah, basically this question was asked because of the news. You know, just the way I said, the third type of question, which is related to current affairs. But see, even though it is in current affairs, the question statements might not be necessarily from the current affairs. Okay, they would go behind the news and ask the conventional area. But the inspiration is from current affairs. So in this type of topics, where you can see some kind of geography topics or any other topic for that matter, try to dig much deeper. Okay, do not restrict yourself to NCERT. अगर NCERT में नहीं दिया, try to read from internet some more information about these topics. Okay, in this case the question was about Sentinels. Okay, one of the American missionary person was killed. Okay, he went inside that region where he was not supposed to go and he was killed. But the question can come not only about Sentinels, that can also come from different other tribes. And in that, how many are PVTGs? Particularly vulnerable tribal group, whether Sentinel is PVTG or not. Okay, and from which region, which type of island, where it is located. You have to dig much deeper here. Okay, the question can be bit more of depth. Fine. So actually this one Sentinel is where is this island? वो तो पता है अंडमान निकोबार में. अंडमान group or Nicobar group? Which group of island? Andaman group or Nicobar group? Andaman. Is somebody saying Nicobar? कोई है? देख लो, सही भी हो सकता है. Okay. Yeah. Okay. It's Andaman group. In Andaman, which group? Andaman में again there are three: North Andaman, Middle Andaman, South Andaman. South या middle? Are you sure? कुछ लोग middle भी बोले थे. कोई silent हो गया. See, this is the entire group of Andamans, that is Andaman and Nicobar. Okay, North Andaman, Middle Andaman, then South, then the Little Andaman. Okay, the Sentinelese island is here. That is towards the west side of Andaman Nicobar island. Fine. So basically this is one of the particularly vulnerable tribal groups, PVTG jo bolte, which is much more primitive than the other tribal groups. There are 5 PVTGs in Andaman Nicobar Islands. You can see Great Andamanis, Jarvas, Onge, Sentinelese and Shompen. Okay, these are major 5. In that, जो Jarvas hai, they have the maximum numbers around 250 as per the 2011 census, and Sentinelese are the least, only 15 recorded. Okay, 15 recorded. Basically these are the people who have been staying because of the location. They are very far off from the mainland, right? So they have been isolated for much longer period. पता नहीं कैसे आ गया है? They are staying there for much longer period. Fine. So they don't have they didn't have outsider contact for very long period. So because of that reason they are also genetically not very diverse. Okay, so they would be getting married in that regions only. There is no mixing of genes from different regions, so they are more vulnerable to different types of diseases. Okay, that is why it is suggested that there should not be an outsider influence much. There should not be outsider movement over these regions because they are very, very vulnerable. Government of India tried to provide some kind of medical facilities over the period of time, but few of the tribes have constantly rejected to come into the mainstream. Okay, they have constantly rejected to even to accept any kind of services from the outsiders, and the one group is Sentinelists. Okay, so there's currently actually there is a buffer area of 5 kilometers from this island, and nobody is supposed to enter this, even the buffer areas. So it is illegal to enter the buffer area also. Fine? Yeah, coming to the question. The first one, Andaman and Nicobar Islands are home to Negrito tribes as well as Mongoloid tribes. India में कौन सा how many different types of races are there? दो तो यहाँ देख लिया आप. Okay, Negrito है, Mongoloid है, Caucasoid and Australoid. There are 4. Okay, in this Andaman and Nicobar, we can find both Negrito and Mongoloid. Okay, Negrito is basically they are concentrated in Andaman group, and Nicobar group is mainly of Mongoloid origin. Sentinelese tribe form the largest population of PVTG in Andaman Nicobar. Is it so? Jarwas. Okay, Jarwas. Sentinels are least. The Great Andamanese tribes and Onge tribes are the most isolated of all the tribes. Sentinels are the most isolated of all the tribes. What? Yeah, answer is one only. Okay, it is very important to see whether they are asking these statements are correct or not. Okay, that is very, very important, and we tend to miss sometime. अगर answer इसमें 1 only हुआ है and 2 and 3 only भी है. Okay, if the question is which of these statements are not correct, and if we do not read it properly, the answer would be 2 and 3 only. Okay, UPSC में भी ऐसे ही होता है. They would have given both 1 only and 2 and 3 only. If you do not read that single keyword, even if you know the information, आप घर में बैठ के पढ़ा भी है and you are remembering and trying to write it in the exam, but still वो गलत हो रहा है, that is blunder. You don't do any such kind of blunders in the examination. Fine? That is very, very important to see whether the statements are correct or not correct. कौन सा पूछा है क्वेश्चन में? Yeah. What is Madden-Julian oscillation? Is it the fluctuation in the magnetic field? No. Oscillation in the degree of Earth's axial tilt? No. Axial tilt wala hai Milankovitch cycles. Milankovitch cycle, no need to go much detail into this. You just remember it's about the variation in the revolution, the axis and the axial tilt over the period of time, that is Milankovitch cycle. Okay, and natural variability of sea surface temperature in North Atlantic Ocean, that is Atlantic multi-decadal oscillation, that is once in 60-80 years. Okay, the answer is C, that is intra-seasonal fluctuation of atmospheric pressure in the Indo-Pacific region. Okay, that is Madden-Julian oscillation. It is the fluctuation of atmospheric pressure. Then how it is different from El Nino? Are these both same? Is El Nino same as MJO? So then what is difference? Somebody was saying? Yes, MJO is moving. Okay, see, this is Madden-Julian oscillation. It is the fluctuation of pressure and temperature difference between Indian and Pacific Ocean, right? So El Nino is more about the Pacific Ocean, from eastern side of the western side of Pacific Ocean towards the eastern side. So El Nino में ऐसे होता है कि this is static. Okay, the pressure conditions would be static. Here it would be high pressure and here it would be low pressure, and because of that there would be suppression, and because of this there would be convection. Okay, this is normal condition. During the El Nino this would be reversed. Okay, there is a simple way to understand this. Actually, El Nino जो होता है, you should consider as a person cycling on a stage. Suppose there is a stage, theater stage, and a person is cycling on a cycle which is stationary. Okay, उसका stand लगा के he is doing cycling. जो normal conditions होता है that is normal, and if he starts to cycle in the reverse opposite direction that is El Nino. Okay, समझ आया? And remember, if the same person is cycling but it is not stationary, he is moving in the stage from this direction from east to west but cycling, so that is MJO. Okay, this pressure conditions, that is high pressure and low pressure, constantly keeps moving. So this covers the entire earth once in 50-60 days. Okay, this causes change in the pressure and temperature conditions over the period of time. So जहाँ पर ये low pressure वाला conditions आता है, that increases the convection. जहाँ पर high pressure condition आता है, that is suppression, that reduces the precipitation. Okay, simple है. जैसे El Nino and MJO is almost same, but it is MJO is moving. Okay, it moves from west to east. Any doubts here? You did not understand that? Okay, see, El Nino basically क्या होता है? Basically this condition what I said here, here it would be high pressure, here it would be low pressure. High pressure क्यों होता है? Because of cold current, high temperature. Cold current से arid conditions होता है ना? Because of high temperature, yeah, low temperature भी हो सकता है, but mainly because of cold current, which suppresses the convection. Fine. Here it is opposite, because there is a movement of trade winds. Fine, which is also taking the waters towards this area. Fine, and here there is a upliftment. Okay, this upliftment is converted into entire cycle. This is normal condition. That is called as Walker's circulation, right? And in certain conditions, that is 5 to 6 years, 7 to 8 years में एक बार ऐसे होता है, this condition would be reversed. यहाँ पर जो होगा, this would become low pressure, the water would become warm. Okay, water would become warm, and this would lead to reversal of condition here. The water जहाँ से यहाँ flow हो रहा था, it would start flowing back here, and it would get accumulated in this region. Which is this region? Central and Eastern Pacific Ocean. Okay, so the entire cycle is reversed. So basically क्या है? It is similar to एक stage में the person is just ये gym में होता है ना, cycling जो हम करते हैं. It is just when we are doing forward cycling. Okay, and sometimes after some time you are doing it backward, but the cycle is stationary. Okay, that is El Nino and La Nina. जो normal conditions होता है, that is forward La Nina, reverse condition होता है, that is El Nino. Okay, assume the same thing, but not the cycle is stationary. You are moving the cycle from one end of the stage to the other one. Okay, the same way this pressure conditions is moving across the globe. This is not stationary, because this is stationary only in the Pacific Ocean. This would not move the condition to Indian Ocean or towards the Atlantic Ocean, right? But this MJO keeps moving. Is this clear? Yeah, Himalayan drainage system. Basically, there are two types of drainage system in India, Himalayan and Peninsula. Himalayan is mainly perennial rivers which flows through all through the year and are fed by the glaciers. Okay, which is the opposite in case of peninsular, which is mainly fed by monsoon. Okay, so coming to the characteristics of Himalayan drainage system. What is river capturing? River capturing क्या होता है? There are different rivers. Suppose this is the mountain जहाँ से rivers originating from this end, one is from this end, one is from this end, right? And because this is mountain region and the rivers are very active, very erosional, youth stage of rivers होता है. Because of erosion, it start eroding in the upper regions. Okay, so जहाँ से river शुरू हो रहा था, it start moving towards the upper regions, and this can cut off the river source for this rivers. So this captures the source from the other regions, other rivers, and takes the water. So because of this, this river might become dry because of erosion, of headward erosion. Okay, so that can be seen mainly in Himalayan drainage system. Okay, mainly because of youth stage of river and the topography is very young. Fine. What about natural levees? What is natural levees? क्या होता है? Levees क्या होता है? Yeah, if the river is flowing because of the sand deposition, a kind of blockage is formed here on both the sides, that is natural levees. Okay, that is again a characteristic of Himalayan drainage system in the plains. Any kind of deposition which you see, that is even meanders also. Meander is both erosion and deposition. Okay, and delta formation also. These are main characteristics of Himalayan rivers in Ganga plains, the northern plains. Okay, this is river capturing in case of mountains. Okay, all the four are characteristics of Himalayan drainage system. So answer is D. Consider the following statements about the planets in our solar system. Basically, there are two types of planets. Jovian and terrestrial. So what is Jovian planet? It is called as Jupiter-like planet. Okay, Jupiter-like planet. Terrestrial is Earth-like planet. Okay, terrestrial planet का मतलब है Earth-like planet. So what is the difference? This is mainly rocky. Okay, hard solid. Fine, this is mainly gaseous. Okay, why there is a reason? What is the reason behind this? Why there is a differentiation? Because of solar winds. These are the planets which are located away from the sun at a much larger distance. Because of this, it was able to hold on to the gaseous elements more. Okay, इसलिए इसका atmosphere होता है बहुत thicker atmosphere, and the planet is much lighter. Here terrestrial planets, because they are near to the sun, because of the solar wind, most of the gaseous elements are blown away. Okay, so these are only hard rock material are left in this. Examples, जो भी starting 4 है, Mercury, Venus, Earth and Mars. These are terrestrial, and next 4, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune. These are gaseous, Jovian planets. Okay, in between you can say asteroid belt. Fine. So coming to the question, Jovian planets are characterized by thick atmosphere. This is correct. Because of more gas elements. Okay, the atmosphere is much thicker. Second one, no terrestrial planet has natural satellites. Is it so? Earth has moon and Mars has 2 natural satellites, Phobos and Deimos. Earth is a Jovian planet. Is it so? It is a terrestrial planet. Yeah, as I said, the question is not correct. This is important. So answer is not 1 only, it is 2 and 3 only. It is very easy. आप पहले first one देखते ही you can mark it 1 only. But if you don't notice this, not. This is very very important. I am telling again and again. बहुत लोग mistake करते हैं यहाँ पर. ठीक है, पढ़ने के बाद भी ऐसे mistake करना, it's blunder. This type of question, again, such kind of question you can see in UPSC. वैसे एक question आया था pilgrimage places and the region. Okay, 2 साल के पहले आया था. They are asking the region and the question can also come in reverse. Okay, location का main aspect है कि the question has become bit more diverse. They are not directly asking this place is located in which state. ये वाला questions नहीं पूछ रहा है. Okay, the locations can be interlinked with vegetation, it can be interlinked with the pilgrimage places, and also it can be interlinked with the rivers, or even national parks can be interlinked with the rivers, national parks can be interlinked with the mountain system. There is an interlinking of themes. If you analyze the previous past 5 years, it is very easy to notice that UPSC has started to interlink different themes. And for such kind of information, you don't find anywhere. Atlas में भी नहीं मिलता है. Okay, so you have to identify that this kind of information and make a table and try to remember. Fine. Where is this Triambakeshwara temple? Maharashtra. Okay, this is the place where Godavari is originating. Triambakeshwar. The place is also Triambakeshwar. There's Triambakeshwar temple. What is Ranakpur temple? Where is it? This is one of the 5 Jain pilgrimage centers. Okay, one of the 5 in India. Where is this located? Rajasthan. Rajasthan on the western side of Aravalis, Pali district. Okay, western side of Aravalis. Yeah, on the western side of Aravali. Here it is located. But if you see, it is easy to see. Banas river is from the eastern side and this place is located on the western side. Okay, so that this Banas river cannot originate from this place. Fine. What about Patbausi Satra? What is Satra? Sunai? Okay. These are the Vaishnavite institution. Vaishnavite institution. Fine. And this is located in Assam. Assam. And that too north of Brahmaputra river. Where is Shyok river? It is tributary of Indus. Okay. So the answer is 1 only. See, such type of question difficult भी लगता है. अगर कुछ भी पता नहीं है, don't take a guess. Please leave the question. If you don't have any information at all, if you're not able to eliminate, unless the final elimination has come to 2 options, 2 option eliminate कर दिया, 2 option में बचा है, then you take guess. Otherwise, don't take guess. Come to environment and ecology. There are more questions in environment and ecology. If you see the syllabus of environment and ecology जो prelims में दिया है, it clearly says general issues on environmental ecology, biodiversity and climate change that do not require subject specialization. This is the only topic जहाँ पर UPSC ने दिया है, it do not require subject specialization. Okay, but if you see the UPSC का जो main syllabus है, वहाँ पर भी दिया है, जो introduction to main syllabus have you seen? उसमें clearly दिया है, the candidates can answer the questions without any specialized study. A general well-aware person can answer this without any specialized study. But UPSC में कभी ऐसा नहीं होता है. Okay, mainly because of our education system. UPSC thinks our education system is very ideal. हम स्कूल में कॉलेज में बहुत idealistic से पढ़ लिया है, सब कुछ पता है. There is no need to study. ऐसे कभी भी नहीं होता. Okay, even if your person is coming from CBSE board or ICSE board, after coming here you have to prepare separately. Okay, that is the same case with environment and ecology. Fine. Question number 2. With reference to marine and terrestrial ecosystem, consider the following statements. The first one, the rate of increase in the population of producers at primary level is higher in the marine ecosystem than terrestrial. It is a bit difficult to understand, but you have to understand it clearly. क्या बोल रहा है? The rate of increase in population. मतलब क्या है? What is the meaning of rate of increase in population? The size of the population. मतलब जितना number of species are there, number of particular species are there. So that should be at what rate it is increasing. At what rate it is increasing, that is called as rate of increase in the population of producers. Producers कौन सा होता है? At the lowest level. Okay, in case of terrestrial ecosystem, they are plants. In case of aquatic ecosystem, they are again phytoplanktons. So phytoplanktons. So what is the difference between the producers of aquatic and terrestrial ecosystem? क्या difference है? Phytoplanktons are small. Many of them are unicellular. है ना? Very primitive. But plants, जो terrestrial plants है, they are more advanced. They are larger. So plants in the terrestrial ecosystem would take much more time to grow than the phytoplanktons. Okay, so that is why the rate of increase of population at primary level is higher in the marine ecosystem. Is this correct? Is this correct? You're getting the point? Okay, so the first statement is correct. Second one, in an aquatic ecosystem, more energy flows to grazing food chain than detritus food chain. Is it so? How? Terrestrial ecosystem, aquatic ecosystem. Okay. In case of terrestrial ecosystem, the number of trophic levels would be lesser. The maximum, usually the maximum would be 5. Okay, number of different trophic levels. Okay, but in case of aquatic ecosystem, the trophic levels would be much more. Usually 7 tak hota hai. Okay, this is the difference. In case of grazing food chain, what is a grazing food chain? Grass is not grazing food chain. Grazing food chain is where one organism is feeding on another. जो normal होता है usually. Okay, producers would produce the energy. It would be stored in the plants, and herbivores would eat the plants. The carnivores would eat the herbivores. Then the top carnivores would eat both herbivores and carnivores. Okay, that is grazing food chain. What is detritus food chain? Yeah, the main component is dead meat, dead organism. Okay, energy would flow from the dead organism through decomposers and the other organisms which are dependent on decomposers. Okay, that is detritus food chain. In case of terrestrial ecosystem, since the number of trophic levels are low, the more amount of biomass gets wasted at each level. Okay, more amount of biomass gets wasted at each level. So, but that is not so in case of aquatic ecosystem. Here the number of trophic levels are more. Okay, so यहाँ पर grazing food chain होता है. So there is a more waste. So that would be converted into detritus. So detritus के लिए there is more biomass available, but it is not so here. Okay, you got the point here? Is this clear? So coming to this, in an aquatic ecosystem, more energy flows through grazing food chain than detritus food chain. Is it so? अभी बताओ. Here in case of terrestrial ecosystem, energy flows in which kind of food chain? Grazing or detritus? Detritus, because there is more wastage at each level. Okay, if you apply 10% rule, 90% यहीं पे खत्म हो गया, only 10% is getting passed to the next one. है ना? In that, very less is getting passed. So here, in case of grazing food chain in terrestrial ecosystem, the amount of energy is less. But in case of detritus, it is more. But it is opposite case in case of aquatic. यहाँ पर, since there are more number of levels, in case of grazing food chain, where the one organism is feeding on the another one, the energy flow is more. There is less biomass left for detritus here. So that is why the statement is correct. In an aquatic ecosystem, more energy flows through grazing food chain than detritus food chain. Is this clear? थोड़ा सा confusing है, but you have to read carefully. Question number 7. Which among the following relationships is an example of commensalism? Let's briefly see the different types of relationships. The first one is mutualism. Okay, mutualism ne both the organisms are getting benefited. Any examples for mutualism? Algae and fungus, lichens. Okay, what is commensalism? In this, one organism is getting benefited, the other one is neither getting benefited nor getting harm. Okay, it is neutral. Okay, that is commensalism. Any examples here? Sea anemone and hermit crab. Okay, I'll come to that example. Question mein, what is proto-cooperation? In which both the species are getting benefited, but it is not necessary for their survival. Okay, that is proto-cooperation. What about amensalism? One is not getting harm, another one is getting harm. Any examples? Small plants growing below the big tree. Okay, because of the big tree, it is not receiving much shade, energy, sunlight, है ना? What about parasitism? एक को benefit होता है, दूसरे को loss होता है ना? Any kind of parasites, leeches. Okay, that is example for parasitism. What about predation? Same, एक को benefit होता है, एक को loss होता है, but this one kills directly. Fine. Then cannibalism is the same one, eating on the same species. Then competition is both are at loss. The competition would not be between tiger and deer. The competition would be between tiger and lion. Okay. Since the population of deer would be lesser, one day the tiger would get the food, another day the lion would get the food. Okay. Both are at loss. Okay. Let's come to the question. So which of these relationships are example of commensalism? Suckerfish and shark. Okay. Suckerfish are the types of fish which sticks to the shark while traveling in the oceans. Okay, that is commensalism. Fig tree and wasp. Fig tree and wasp is mutually beneficial for each other. है ना? Wasps help in pollination and the flowers of fig tree gives protection to the wasp. Okay, it is giving shelter to the wasp. Great egret and grazing animals, basically this is a bird which feeds on insects. As the grazing animal moves through the grass, it disturbs the different insects which are there in the grass, and that would be eaten by the birds. Okay, so this is an example of commensalism because the grazing animals are not getting benefited, but the birds are getting benefited. Okay, what is the answer? 1 and 3. See, institutions in environment are very, very important. The ones established by the Government of India and the ones established by the international organization. International organizations particularly which are in the news in the last 1 or 2 years जो specially established हुआ है या which are in the news, you have to see. Try to make a list at least 20-25. Last time तो 2-3 question आ गया था उसमें. Okay, before last time again there were 2-3 questions on international institutions itself. Not the major one, even the minor one which are in news. You have to remember that. So Animal Welfare Board is actually basically, it was established to prevent the cruelty to animals. So this is established under the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals 1960 Act. Okay, 1960 में established हो गया था. There would be 28 members in the board for a tenure of 3 years. Okay. So coming to the statement, it is the first one. It is a statutory body established under Wildlife Protection Act. This is wrong. Wildlife Protection Act 1972 में आया था, उसके पहले 1960 में this was established. Okay. Second one, grants recognition to the newly started animal welfare organization. This is also correct. Okay, there are multiple objectives of the organization to oversee the implementation, to advise the government. जो भी हम ये law है, Prevention of Cruelty to Animals Act. Okay, to ensure the measures, there is no such that there is no cruelty towards the animal. Even if we have to kill some animals, we have to kill in such a manner that very less pain is inflicted. Okay, so to ensure all these things, we have this Animal Welfare Board. Fine. The third one, it is entrusted with the responsibility to collect and collate intelligence related to organized wildlife crime. No, this is done by Wildlife Crime Control Bureau. Wildlife Crime Control Bureau. This was established in 2006. 2006 में establish हुआ है, particularly with the specific objective of controlling wildlife crime. Okay, and this Wildlife Crime Control Bureau is established under which act? Wildlife Protection Act. So answer is 2 only. Which of the following correctly describes the Great Green Wall Initiative? Great Green Wall Initiative is basically an effort to build largest tree cover in Africa. Okay, this is the map. If you see, the northern portion of Africa is completely dry and arid, पूरा Sahara है. To prevent the spreading of this dry desert region towards the southern region, which is much more greener, है ना? So to prevent the spreading, they have started this initiative, and this is complete patch of trees across the continent. For 8,000 kilometers, this would be a complete patch of tree. This would be the largest such kind of structure on the earth. This was started in 2007 and by 2030 it is expected to be completed. Okay? So the answer is the World Bank funded project to combat, no, that is not the one. The first one, the initiative of UNCCD to restore Africa's degraded landscape. Okay, this is the initiative of UNCCD, that is United Nations Convention to combat desertification. Yeah, mission innovation is basically it was started in 2015. जो Paris COP हुआ था उसमें this was started for the first time. In fact, Bill Gates introduced this in the convention. Okay, basically it is the involvement of all the different partners and 24 countries, 23 plus EU. Okay, 23 plus EU came together mainly to work towards the clean energy. Okay, that is to make the clean energy more affordable. Among these 23 plus 1, it has India, China, USA, Brazil, Indonesia, the top most populous countries. All of them are there. Okay, they have come together and they have also agreed to increase R&D in this clean energy area. That is from the present condition to double it. They want to double it in 5 years from 2015 to 2020. Okay, this is the main objective. So coming to the statement, is a global initiative to accelerate clean energy innovation. This is correct. This was launched in COP22 at Marrakesh. This is wrong. This is in Paris. COP21. Third one, Department of Biotechnology is a nodal agency of this mission in India. This is correct because India is mainly concentrating on biofuels. Okay, it wants to increase the percentage of biofuel so that हमारा जो clean energy है उसका component increase हो जाएगा. So that is why this responsibility is entrusted to Department of Biotechnology. One major issue with this program is that there is also another program, Global Apollo program. Have you heard of this? Global Apollo program. This was also launched before this, before जो भी ये जो mission innovation है उसके पहले ही, and with the almost same objective. The Global Apollo program aims to reduce the cost of clean electricity compared to the electricity produced from the coal. Okay, it wants to reduce the cost of clean electricity by 2025. Okay, so it is kind of repetition. The same kind of effort which are doing there from Global Apollo program, almost repetition हो रहा है. That is the major criticism. Question number 38. National Cyclone Risk Mitigation Project. This is implemented by NDMA. Okay, NDMA comes under which ministry? Ministry of Home Affairs. Okay, Ministry of Home Affairs. Basically, it wants to reduce the vulnerability of coastal states towards the cyclones. It is being implemented in 13 states and union territories. Okay, it is the program of Government of India. So basically, the first one is correct. Its objective is to reduce the vulnerability of coastal communities to cyclone by enhancing their capacity and capability. Okay, how can you enhance the capacity and capability? By two ways. One is structural measures, another one is non-structural measure. Structural measures like creation of some kind of walls, okay, structures which are more resistant to strong winds. Okay, non-structural measures is more enhancing the prediction or enhancing the capability of the community, okay, giving them training. All these are non-structural measures. It is targeting both. Second one is correct, that is NDMA is the nodal agency. The third one is project is being implemented with the help of World Bank. This is also correct. World Bank ka funding hai majorly in this. Answer is B. Yeah. Last game is simple सा question है. Basically जो अभी recently the last COP हुआ था, COP 24. Where was it? Poland, Katowice. Okay, वहाँ पर one of the major thing came out is that before they had this summit, this was in news. Okay, particularly this is a program of UNEP. UNEP का program है. It wants to arrange an ice hockey game in Arctic region. Ice hockey game in Arctic region to grab the attention of the globe, to show that this would be the last ice hockey ever we can organize in Arctic region because of the melting of ice. Okay, so International Ice Hockey Federation, that is the official partner, and most of the celebrities and even the historic, even the major players have agreed to participate in this. Yeah. No, it is implemented with the assistance from the World Bank. So if you read the question, it is not implemented by the World Bank. It is not implemented by the World Bank. It is implemented with the assistance from the World Bank. Okay. So 42 is clear. To 48. So which of the following contributes to groundwater contamination in India? Yeah, basically groundwater contamination can come from two sources, natural sources and man-made source. Natural source क्या हो सकता है? Natural source can also be the sources where there is this leaching of heavy metals. Okay, the mines or resources where these heavy metals are located, वहाँ से leach होके it is reaching to the groundwaters. Okay, and it can also through coastal ingression, saltwater ingression, coastal erosion. These are the ways in which natural erosion, natural groundwater contamination हो सकता है. And man-made तो पता है, we have multiple sources, fertilizer, pesticides, okay, and different types of chemicals, different exploration activities, shale gas exploration, petroleum exploration. Okay, so all these can contaminate the groundwater, and all of them are there. Okay, there is a simple logic. Basically, what is pollution? Pollution is not about adding new element into the environment. Okay, even if there is a increase in the concentration of particular element which is already there in the environment, that is also called as pollution. Okay, that is why CO2 is pollutant. Carbon dioxide is pollutant. Why? Because there is an increase in the concentration. Okay, so if you apply that logic, most of them are pollutants only. Okay, wherever you can find increase in the iron, increase in the lead, cadmium, increase in the chromium, so that should be pollutant. Okay, simple sir. Yeah, 49. Global Environment Facility is basically, it is the multilateral financial agency mainly to fund the developing countries. Developing countries के लिए था. It was established just before 1992 Rio Summit. 1992 Rio Summit, on the eve of 1992 Rio Summit, they established this as a funding mechanism to developing countries. Fine. It monitors 5 programs. It is the financial mechanism for 5 programs. What are they? UNFCCC, UNCBD, then combat desertification UNCCD भी है, and Stockholm भी है, and Minamata Convention भी है. Okay, for all these 5, in addition to this, it is UNFCCC, then UNCBD. These 5 come under GEF, Global Environment Facility. What is ACATS? Huh? Can you come again? The answer is D. All the 3 are there. In addition to this, we have UNFCCC and UNCBD. Fine. What are ACATS? These are basically genetically similar species but different in morphological characteristics. What is genetically similar? Matlab they have similar genes. Almost same. They are same in terms of genes, but they are different in terms of appearance. Morphological characteristic तो वही होता है ना जो बाहर से appearance होता है. This is mainly observed in response to different in environment conditions. Okay, so when same particular plant species are observed in different climatic conditions, one inside the interior of the continent, one towards the coastal region, Okay, both have exhibited different kind of morphological characteristics. Okay, so these two types, even though they are genetically similar but morphologically different, they are called as ecads, or also called as ecophenes. This is basically through the adaptation capability. Okay, every species would adapt to the particular environment. 61 ये तो simple है. Basically, which of these do not belong to the other order? कौन सा है? Hedgehog. The rat, squirrel, guinea pig, both of all the three are rodents. Can you come again? What are Darwin finches? Okay, that one I'm not sure, because as I know, Darwin is talking about the evolution. Okay, the ecads is not about the evolution but adaptation. Adaptation is within the generation. Okay, within the same time period, how the same species have adapted to different environmental condition. Yeah, as I said, hedgehog is not a rodent. Other three are rodents. So rodents are basically the largest mammal group. Okay, they are the largest mammal group, and one particular characteristic is that they have जो सामने वाला टूथ है इसको क्या बोलते हैं? Incisors. So that grows continuously. That is the characteristic of rodents. Hedgehog is not a rodent. Yeah. Light pollution, basically light pollution is where you have more excessive artificial light. Okay, excessive artificial light से बहुत सारे issues होते हैं, and because of that it is called as light pollution. So as I said, pollution is mainly about wherever there is an excess than the naturally allowed thing. Okay, that is called as pollution. So light pollution से क्या क्या हो सकता है? Increase in the melatonin production. What is melatonin? It is responsible for immunity. Okay, because of excessive light, it reduces the melatonin. It suppresses the prevention of melatonin production. So this is wrong. Increasing algal blooms. Because of the more light, there can be increase in the algal population. So that can lead to eutrophication. Okay. Increase in the atmospheric pollution. This is also correct. How? Because of excessive light destroy the nitrate radicals. So nitrate radicals होते हैं in the air. So that destroys that, which would have reduced the smog. Okay, nitrate radicals would have reduced the smog. So that's why, because of the lesser concentration of nitrate radicals due to excessive lights, smog would prevail more. Okay, the smog would be more in the areas where there is more artificial light. So answer is 2 and 3 only. Consider the following statements about International Whaling Commission. International Whaling Commission was established in 1946. Basically, जब पहले establish हुआ था, that is by the International Whaling Commission. So there was this convention, International Convention for the Regulation of Whaling. So initially it was about regulation. Okay, they wanted the whaling stocks to grow sustainably, and so that would be beneficial for whaling business. Okay, initially in 1940s में जब establish हुआ था, this was the objective. But in 1982, they imposed a complete ban on whaling, commercial whaling. Okay, on the entire earth. Okay, presently it is completely banned. Commercial whaling is banned. Huh? But it is violation. Okay, that is violation. Okay, Japan it is still practiced, but still it is a violation. So coming to the question, it has been set up under the International Convention for Safety of Life at Sea. No, this is mainly about the shipping lines. Okay, providing protection to the people who are involved in merchant shipping. Okay, that is first one is wrong. It provides for complete ban on commercial exploitation of whales. This is correct. Okay, currently there is a complete ban on commercial exploitation of whales. Third one, membership is granted only to those countries which have maritime seas. No, this is not so. Any country can participate in this. Is India part of this? Yes. Yeah. National park, you have to remember the location. As I said, location is very important. Where is Papikonda National Park? See, in case of these locations, it would not be very close. You have to remember rough order. Okay, rough order you can remember through the states. Okay, in each state कौन सा ऊपर है कौन सा नीचे है ये याद कर लेना. It would be easy. You don't have to remember very closely क्योंकि जो भी इस पे दिया है the distance would not be very close. You can see Papikonda National Park. Where is it? Here. I think in East Godavari and West Godavari district of Andhra Pradesh. Fine. What about this? Galathiya National Park. Where is it? कहाँ पर है? Andaman Nicobar. Okay. Then Dachigam National Park, Jammu Kashmir. Jammu Kashmir. This is Andaman Nicobar. Fine. What about this one, Madhav National Park? Madhya Pradesh. Okay. You got the order easily. So basically you have to remember the rough location of that particular states. But जो भी national park news में है, try to remember in much more detail. कौन सा species of vegetation है, कौन सा different animals which are good over there, which are in good numbers. You have to remember that. Leachate. What is leachate? Basically contaminated liquid which comes out of this जो landfills होता है, where we dump all kind of solid wastes, the urban solid waste that gets decomposed after some time, and that kind of liquid which has both decomposing and non-decomposing material, okay, that percolates into the groundwater over the period of time. If you let it, it will reach the water sources. Okay, so that is the major pollutant. So इसलिए we have certain rules that these kind of landfills should not be located very near to the water bodies. Okay, so that is leachate. Endocrine disruptors क्या होता है? What are endocrine disruptors? These are the chemicals which interfere with the endocrine system. Endocrine, what is endocrine system? Hormonal system. जो भी different glands secreting different hormones in the body है ना, that system is very important for the functioning of human body. If there is any slight variation in the hormones, that can lead to large different effects. Okay, इसलिए to prevent this, the UN has recently in 2018 has published the list of all the chemicals which can affect the endocrine system. Okay, these chemicals are endocrine disruptors. Okay, this is in news, that is why you have to read in detail. Okay, the first one, these chemicals can interfere in the human hormone system. This is correct. They can cause soil pollution because these plastics attract these chemicals very easily, and they would remain in the soil for a longer period of time. Okay, and also microplastics also. Fine. The third one, they are found in cosmetics. Yes, majorly cosmetics में use करते हैं these endocrine disruptors को in hair sprays, even in makeup kits, जो भी different types of cosmetics होते हैं उसमें largely they use this. That is why it is currently in the news. All the three are correct. There are a few current affairs questions. Let's take it briefly. BT cotton is GM food. Okay, what is GM? Genetically modified. Genetically modified crop क्या होता है? Yeah, when you change the genetics, when you change the certain characteristics, you can insert new genes or you can remove particular genes. Okay, whatever kind of modification you are doing with the genetics, that is genetically modified. Okay, India में there is only BT cotton. That BT is Bacillus thuringiensis. That is the bacteria from which we have extracted certain resistant characteristics for the pests. Okay, we have extracted that characteristic and added to the cotton. So that is why it has become BT cotton. Okay, coming to the first statement, it is created by slicing genome strands of cotton to remove undesirable strain. This is wrong. We have not removed, but we have added. Okay, first statement is wrong. Second one, BT cotton is the only GM crop that has been allowed for commercial cultivation in India. This is correct. BT brinjal था, and there is this mustard also. दोनों के लिए अभी permission नहीं दिया है. Samarth, what is Samarth? there was this program, Central's program for capacity building in textile sector. Okay, this has been named as summer scheme, basically skilling the youth who are involved in textile sector. Okay, simple one. This is important and ऐसे tricky questions भी आ सकते हैं. Prime Minister, particularly Quality Council of India, ये UPSC में आया था पहले. Okay, so National Ganga River Basin Authority is headed by Prime Minister. This is correct. Kendriya Hindi Samiti is headed by Prime Minister. This was established in 1967. Okay, this Samiti का जो भी objective है to oversee the implementation of Hindi as a official language over the period of time, official language of Union. Okay, so even this one is headed by Prime Minister. Quality Council of India is not headed by Prime Minister, but the person appointed by the Prime Minister. Okay, on the recommendation of both government as well as the industry. Because Quality Council of India is not completely government, it also involves the stakeholders of industry. Okay. Yeah, extradition. We have it in use mainly because of Vijay Mallya. So coming to this, जो भी extradition होगा, Supreme Court has mentioned this would be not limited to only the convicted person, whoever is under trial. Okay, whoever is accused for certain crime, okay, he can be extradited. But extradition is difficult. We have agreement with only selective countries. We have extradition treaty with 43 countries and extradition facility, extradition arrangement with 10 countries. So दोनों का difference क्या है? Treaty में it is compulsory for the country to extradite, and in case of arrangement it is not compulsory. Okay. So PMO is the nodal authority that administers the extradition. No. External affairs. Basically, it should be external affairs, right? So that is Consular, Passport and Visa Division of External Affairs. Yeah, this is last one. First option is wrong, right? It is not only for convicted criminals, even for the person who are under trial. Okay, this is the last one. Basically, this was in news because of recent by-elections in Karnataka. 2018 में हुआ था. Few people had approached Supreme Court, approached President saying this by-election should not be held because 2019 में there is general election. Okay, 151A of RPA says that any by-election should be held within 6 months. 6 months, within 6 months of vacancy, the election should be held. There are only two exceptions for this. If the remainder of the term is less than 1 year, then there is no need for the election by-election. Or if the election commission certifies that the by-election cannot be conducted within that period. Only in these two conditions, the by-election should not be held. Otherwise, the by-election should be held within 6 months of vacation of that particular seat. Okay, so the answer is D. It specifies the time limit for filling vacancies through by-election. Okay, so that completes the section. Next, Abhishek would be taking economy and rest of the current affairs. Any doubts? If you have any doubts, you can write to me at this mail, rajesh@visionis.in.